You know, for some people, losing weight is the ultimate struggle. But if you're tuning into this, I'm guessing you have the exact opposite problem. Putting on even a single pound probably feels, well, biologically impossible, right? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a definitive, tiered blueprint to mass building. We're going to look at the hard data and break down 3 very specific strategic approaches for healthy weight gain. Whether you're just looking for a simple tweak to your daily routine or you're ready for a total lifestyle overhaul, we've got a clear, proven path for you right here.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with a quick weight reality check, and then we'll move up the escalator through 3 distinct tiers of commitment, level 1, level 2, and level 3, before we wrap things up with the ultimate consistency rule. All right, first up, the weight reality check. Where exactly do you stand? Before you can build a house, you've got to survey the foundation. Let's look at the clinical baseline numbers. If you're 4 feet 11 inches, your ideal weight baseline sits roughly between 40 and 50 kilograms. Moving up a bit, at 5 feet 2 inches, you should be looking at 48 to 59 kilos. For someone who's 5 feet 5, that healthy range is 55 to 68 kilograms. And if you're hitting the 6-foot mark, your ideal weight climbs to somewhere between 72 and 89 kilos. I want you to take just a second right now to compare your current weight against these ideal ranges. Now, if your current weight is falling below the lowest number for your height, consider this a pretty stark wake-up call. It means you're seriously underweight, and for the sake of your overall health, your daily energy, and your longevity, you really need to start taking immediate action. But hey, don't panic. That is exactly what we are going to solve today with these blueprints. Okay, let's dive into level 1, the easy way. This is all about caloric density for the extremely skinny. This is absolutely the lowest friction method we have. It's designed specifically for extremely skinny individuals whose main goal is simply to put on mass. We're talking aiming for a very noticeable 6 to 10 kilograms. What makes level 1 so great is that it doesn't force you to upend your entire life. There's no massive meal prep and no crazy eating schedules to stress over. Step 1, you just eat your standard 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But step 2 is where the magic really happens. You systematically swap in high-calorie versions of the exact foods you're already eating. The secret here is maximizing caloric density without actually stuffing your stomach with a huge physical volume of food. This right here brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of those simple swaps. Let's say you're eating a standard regular roti. That gives you about 106 calories. But if you simply swap that exact regular roti for a paratha, boom, you instantly jump to about 200 calories, and it takes roughly the exact same amount of effort to eat. Now, let's say you add a nice dollop of ghee or butter to that paratha. Suddenly, you're looking at 250 calories. You have literally more than doubled your caloric intake for that single item of food. It makes the math of weight gain incredibly tangible and honestly pretty effortless to achieve. Moving right along to level 2, moderate progression. This is where we start dialing up the frequency and the rules. So if you want to push things a bit further and gain a solid, steady 3 to 5 kilograms a month to really build up your body, level 2 introduces a stricter schedule and some absolutely crucial operational rules for your digestive system. First up, you step it up to 5 meals a day, spaced evenly every 2 hours. You're basically keeping your internal engine constantly fueled. Second, you actually need to use less oil and fewer spices in your cooking. And third, this one is huge, guys, do not drink water during your meals. Instead, you implement a strict 30-minute water rule. That means waiting half an hour after you finish eating before taking a drink. Why? Because you do not want to artificially fill your stomach with liquid when it desperately needs to be filled with calories. Now, you might be wondering why we're suddenly reducing oil and spices if we're trying to gain weight. Well, when you compare a diet that's heavy in oil and spices to one that uses them sparingly, the difference in how your body reacts is like night and day. Using less oil and fewer spices actually allows your food to digest much faster, and faster digestion leads to significantly better nutrient absorption. That means your body can actually extract and use those building blocks to pack on solid mass, instead of wasting energy struggling to process super heavy, overly rich meals. I do want to add a super quick but totally vital caveat here about supplements. If you're following level 2 and you're still genuinely struggling to gain weight just through food, mass gainer supplements can be a great tool. However, and this is a massive however, they are strictly tied to physical training. Mass gainers will help you, but only if you are actively working out. If you're not lifting, you aren't building a strong body. You're literally just storing empty calories. All right, time to shift into high gear. Level 3, the hard path, building a muscular physique. This is our highest commitment level. The goal here is a highly controlled gain of 2 to 3 kilograms a month, but with a laser focus on building a dense, muscular physique. And the physical requirements here, totally non-negotiable. First, you have to be working out 3 days a week, and I mean heavy training, to really stimulate that muscle growth. You've got to tear the muscle down so it can build back larger. Second, to fuel all that repair, you must be consuming a strictly high-protein diet. We're talking about making serious, high-quality proteins the absolute stars of your plate, things like eggs, chicken, and fish. So here is exactly how diet meets iron in your daily routine. Level 3 relies on a very specific 4-meal structure. Meal 1 is a heavy, hearty breakfast to kickstart your day. Meal 2 is your standard solid lunch. Now, Meal 3 is highly strategic. This is your dedicated post-workout meal, engineered to completely flood your system with nutrients right at that exact window when your recovering muscles need them the absolute most. Finally, Meal 4 is a dinner that's relatively light on the stomach, but notably high in carbohydrates. Oh, and notice that specific little addition at the end there? Yep, plus 2 bananas.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the hidden science behind those 2 bananas. Bananas are an incredible source of slow-digesting carbs. Unlike a quick sugar rush that gives you a spike and an immediate crash, slow-digesting carbohydrates give you a steady, sustained release of energy all through the night while you're sleeping. This means your body stays in this fantastic, anabolic, muscle-building state. It's actively aiding in your weight gain and recovery while you are literally just lying in bed, completely at rest. How cool is that?
Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the consistency rule, the absolute key to unlocking solid results.
Listen, without this one universal foundation, absolutely none of these blueprints will work. 1 month, 30 straight days. Whether you chose the easy, friction-free swaps of level 1, the moderate 5-meal progression of level 2, or the hard path of heavy listing in level 3, you absolutely must commit to your blueprint for a minimum of 1 straight month. Biology takes time, guys. You can't just try this for 4 days, look in the mirror, see no change, and quit. Consistency for at least 1 month is the mandatory price of admission if you actually want to see these solid results materialize.
We've laid out the hard data. We've shown you the ideal weight baselines, the simple but powerful food swaps, the digestion hacks, and the heavy-duty muscle-building protocols. The blueprints are all right here in front of you. So the final question is really just this. Are you ready to pick your level, lock in that consistency rule, and finally level up your physique starting today? The choice is entirely in your hands. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.